Yeah. What is going on, people? This is the Sports Counterpoints podcast. Today is August the 21st. August 21st, 2024. I'm GB, Coop and Brian with me. What's happening?
What's going on?
We're getting closer.
Man,
We are
yeah.
getting closer.
Bro, we're like weeks away. Literal weeks away.
Literally. Yeah.
Yes.
From football, and then college will be right in front of that. So that's what we're talking today. It's football, that pigskin, that gridiron. So starting with kind of just the NFL and just kind of our thoughts, position battles, anything you guys want to just kind of kick off to. It's still precursor, so we'll do our full pre-show in a couple of weeks. But
yeah, well, most recently there's been a couple of position battles, mainly the quarterback positions that have gotten decided going into as of today. The big one was that Bo Nix was officially announced as the starting QB in Denver over Jared Stidham and Zach Wilson. This is kind of one of those things that it's like, yeah, they made a choice, but it was kind of always obvious. Zach Wilson couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a baseball bat, throwing a football these days. And Jared Stidham he's not horrible, but he's
not enough to not play the new rookie.
Yeah, especially when the new rookie has played pretty darn well in the preseason. Yeah. He's actually had some pretty impressive passes and nice drives. So, we got where we started. It's going to be interesting because this automatically kind of puts him in the driver's seat for Rookie of the Year. Because he's a rookie quarterback, because he's getting an opportunity to start from the beginning. That's not suggesting that he's great, good, or going to become
that's
anything.
fair. That's fair. Yeah. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, none of the other ones are starting.
Yeah, none of the other quarterbacks are starting. They don't have the opportunity that he has. Caleb will obviously be the other one.
Yeah. True that. Yeah, he's the one.
But and Jaden Daniels likely will start as well. But right now, Bo Nix has an opportunity to kind of seize some momentum because he's starting day one. He has looked better than the other rookie quarterbacks in the preseason. We'll see what that means. So Gates, I don't know if you have anything to say about the Denver one, or I'll go on to the next one.
Yeah, I'll talk about the Denver one. That isn't much of a quarterback battle to me. But yeah, Bo Nix, I think as we both expected, was going to win that one. That's a fixed race if you ask me. But Bo Nix, I'm going to go on record right now saying he doesn't win. Yeah, I understand he does have a leg up because he's a rookie starting. But I just can't see him edging out Caleb Williams if Caleb Williams has a half decent year at the quarterback position. I can't see him winning Rookie of the Year, but he does have a leg up because he's actually a quarterback who's starting. But as far as the quarterback competition, I still think Denver's not going to be that good. So let's move on to the next thing. Next position battle.
Yeah, and then obviously the de facto winner in Minnesota was Sam Darnold.
Right.
There's been a lot of talk this week.
Your sound got low for me, B. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you sounded real low.
I don't know. I haven't changed anything.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, you still do. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, though.
We can hear you, though.
Okay. But anyways, so Sam Darnold won the job in Minnesota kind of by de facto. It was always known that J.J. McCarthy was not going to be the starter.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah, and so Sam Darnold's going to get there. So there's been a lot of talk this week about Sam Darnold's record as a starter in certain situations, mainly his 2022 year, where he got 6 starts for Carolina, went 4-2, and the only losses were to a Super Bowl-bound Tampa Bay team, where he threw for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns, only to get bested by Tom Brady, who threw for 432 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. And the other loss they had was to a streaking Pittsburgh, who won 7 out of 2 down the stretch, including their win against Carolina. The short of it is that in that relatively brief period where he got 6 straight starts, he actually had put up stats. Again, this is not me suggesting they're going to be good. What I am saying, though, is that Minnesota apparently believes that they're going to be good because after they won their second preseason game, they immediately made a big free agent signing and a 1-year deal with Stephen Gilmore, and a couple free agent signings and trades to shore up their defense, which was always kind of little spotty on the line and in the secondary. So I'm not suggesting that they're going to be good, but Minnesota clearly thinks that they have a shot at being at least decent with what they have on offense, which is Hawkinson and Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones and Addison and Jordan Naylor and of course Justin Jefferson, because they went out and immediately spent $10 million on a 1-year deal for a corner, which was their weak spot. So we'll see what that goes. But so what I'm saying, going back to the quarterback situation, they clearly have some level of confidence, or believe they should have some level of confidence in Sam Darnold's ability to be successful, to go and make those investments. Again, not suggesting that it means anything other than that they believe.
Yeah, and I think they need serviceable quarterback play.
But also, that's the
All
most
right.
that's the most interesting division in football. To me, that division's still wide open. I don't care what anybody says.
And
That's a wide open division.
oh, you can't see it, but I owed you one from the Raiders Vikings game. But
Oh, I see it now. There it is. I don't have anything to say about Minnesota. I mean, I think we all knew when JJ McCarthy went down. Well, I think we all knew that he wasn't going to start this year, but when he went down, pretty much it was going to be Sam Darnold's job. But the quarterback competition that I'm never really interested in. But it's the Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
that is interesting.
Because it's very interesting, because I don't think Pittsburgh's making the playoffs anyway, but still, just that whole dynamic with those two, because they're two very different quarterbacks. I don't know. It seems to me, if you're going to have one, you're going to play one quarterback, you got to play a certain style. You play the other, you got to play a different style. You can't play the same style with both of those quarterbacks. But you guys have any thoughts on who's going to win that competition? If I had to guess,
because there hasn't been a competition yet, because Wilson hasn't played, right? So he's been out for a whole preseason with an injury. So
right.
Fields has looked solid in the preseason games. I actually watched one of them, and he's had solid stats. It seems clear, the way that they're playing Fields in the preseason and everything else, that Wilson gets the job when he's healthy, because they're kind of playing Fields as the guy that they're trying to develop as the backup, which I think, going to your point earlier, makes more sense, because Wilson plays an offense that's more a Tomlin-like, controlled, not trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. Fields is clearly the big play type of guy. He's had some really spectacular big plays in the preseason, but Wilson seems like more of a Tomlin type guy.
Yeah. Plus, those big plays are kind of far and few between, but he can make the big play, definitely. I mean, he does have a better big play ability than Russell Wilson. But I still think that I'm standing by. I think Russell Wilson is washed. So I think Fields will start at some point this season, a few games. So it's going to be interesting. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, GB.
Thank you. I was letting the mic go as B's thing got back. Russell Wilson on, what's his contract now? Like nothing? Could the Raiders get him?
No, I think he's making like $1 million this year with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He's making a reasonable veteran number.
Yeah, I think it's $1 million.
Well, we don't. They got Minshew. They ain't paying that fool. For me, it's obviously Raiders. So we're gonna see. We got to see what. Do
you guys have a quarterback battle or what?
They had one, but it's done. It's Minshew won it.
Gardner Minshew is going to be QB.
Oh, he should win it. Okay.
He was already the QB in Madden, as Madden came out last weekend. So it was interesting. He was already starting. I think, if he could be serviceable, right? We have a solid defense. Just don't turn the ball over a bunch, and don't turn over the ball over. Facilitate movement of the ball, control the clock, score, get touchdowns instead of field goals. I think we'll be all right, but it's yet to be seen, right? It's hard to tell from both these quarterbacks if you're going to have consistent play.
So, Glenn, I think the team made a conscious decision to go a different direction. And here's what I mean. Aiden O'Connell actually is the more system-driven, kind of, predictable, make the plays, stable quarterback of those two. And Gardner Minshew, his entire career, the thing that he's been is exciting. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when they made the decision to go with Minshew, there's a little element of, we're in Las Vegas, we're trying to pack the house. We're gonna put the Minshew mania, that type of thing.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's I think maybe they understand that they're probably not going to be a great team this year, but they can be an exciting team. And the more exciting player is Gardner Minshew, which for our friends, Alvin, went to the same alma mater as Minshew. So as a Raider fan and a Coop, I'm sure he's going to be enjoying the season a little bit more.
I like that take. I like that take a lot. This is the first time I've heard this, and I listen to a lot of sports. That's dope.
Yeah, I look at it a different way.
Very dope.
I think it's whoever Devontae Adams wants to be the quarterback to get him the ball, and I think the better quarterback is Gardner Minshew. That's how I look at it.
I don't think he's
Gardner
the better
Minshew,
quarterback. I think
Gar,
Aiden O'Connell's the better quarterback.
Yeah,
But
Devontae
yeah,
seemed to
the guy who's
show
going to chuck the ball deep for Devontae, like you just said,
for Tucker.
I think Gardner Minshew can make those off-schedule plays. I think Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback. He can make those off-schedule plays. I think he can get Devontae Adams the ball more, and I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, Devontae Adams had a hand in getting Josh McDaniel fired. He had a hand in Jimmy Garoppolo
Yeah, he
getting
should have
benched.
been. He should
I
have never
think
got there.
I think he has a hand on who's the starting quarterback, and I think he
Sure.
called Minshew. So that's how I look
Yeah,
at it. I'm not
but
saying
again,
you're
I think
wrong,
that's because he's a
but
more
yeah,
exciting quarterback, not
Yeah.
because he's a.
And I
We don't know
watched.
what Aiden O'Connell is yet because he
Yeah.
hasn't had as much time. We know what Minshew is. We've seen him.
Well,
He's
and I
a known
watch.
commodity.
I watch every press conference, damn near, right? So I've seen Devontae talk about how accurate Aiden is, and talk
Yep.
about how, to Brian's point, I got to give you some props, B. I listen to a lot of sports. I haven't heard that take, and I think that's dope. Typically, you kind of hear the same stuff regurgitated. So that is cool. I didn't even think about that, and now you kind of got me like, huh, interesting, because you can get that, right? And AP was on a Super Bowl team with Eli Manning. I'm not saying Eli Manning was a super exciting quarterback. I'm saying that he chucked it, and they won games by having that and a very solid defense.
Big play. Yeah.
So to
But the
Brian's
who
Raiders
you
point,
think?
definitely
Okay,
have
I
a
hadn't
solid
thought about
defense.
that. Yeah, they do. I
so
hadn't thought about this.
Brian thinks O'Connell is better. I think Minshew is better. Who do you think is better?
I'll put it like this. When I was playing Madden, I was putting O'Connell in off top. I thought it should be O'Connell and Zamir. I've also gotten some familiarity with O'Connell recently, right? I haven't seen Minshew play for my team. I've seen him play. We know what he is, like Brian said. I did see him play against my team, who has a pretty solid defense, I would say, especially at the end of the year. And he was moving around and cooking us. So I'm wondering how much that ties in. And then to Brian's point, it's a very interesting thought. We were at that game, and Minshew in the game we were at would have definitely added an element. There's no doubt about it. Even if the score was the same, he'd have been running. It added an element. So to Brian's point, I hadn't thought about that. I also think that the line isn't. There's some injuries. We don't know what the line's going to be. Having Aiden back there against the Ravens, the Browns, the Chargers start in the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I could see going with the veteran too, especially with a new playbook, et cetera. So
And more mobile guy.
yeah, get loose, right? Like Bulls are going to be on you. Like to your point, Coop, make the off-scheduled play because you can't stand in the pocket and look around and think about things. You better get loose.
I think O'Connell's a statue. I just don't think he's better than
Yeah, well,
Minshew.
you got to
Yeah.
figure out who drafted him. Them boys that was from the Brady school, they wanted that,
Yeah.
accurate, et cetera. So anyway, that's where the Raiders are at. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Coop, what's up with these Niners?
Injuries. Kyle Shanahan has declined. Those joint practices that teams like to do. They get a
Yep.
lot out of that. The 49ers have been declining those because we don't have enough healthy bodies. So guys have hamstring injuries, and Kyle Shanahan said we just don't have enough healthy guys to have a joint practice, pretty much. So
Got it.
guys just need to get. I mean, where I told you this before even season started, we're an older team. To go to these playoff runs and not seal the deal, you're not going to always be healthy. I expect some losses this year, maybe some unexpected
Yeah.
losses this year. But I guess my whole thing is, like in the 49ers, I just want them to be healthy at the end of the season. Now, if we get there, I mean, I don't know. Everybody has the 49ers, as a shoe in for the Super Bowl. I'm not so sure about that. We have to see how the season play out. There's 17, 18 games this season. So, I don't overreact to losses like a lot of people do. Nobody's going undefeated, but at the same time, it's all about health. I think Brian mentions it a lot. The team that's the healthiest at the end and on a good run usually is the team that, wins the Super Bowl, at least makes a deep run in the playoffs. So I guess that's all I can hope for right now, because I really don't expect a lot of players to be healthy for the season. I mean, for the entire season. And also, it hurts that be perfectly honest with you, that Brandon Ayuk hasn't been signed yet. I know a lot of people, want the players to get the money and blah, blah, blah. That's all good. But when you take away practice time like that, Debo was the same way. He wasn't the same player the first year he signed his contract because you spent so much time away from training camp and the team and practicing and getting your body back used to it. You just don't walk on the football field and it all comes back. It just doesn't happen like that. So we got Trent Williams out. We got Brandon Ayuk out. So I expect probably a slow start to the season. I forget who we played the first few games. I think the Jets is number one. But, we'll see. I'm not sure about any position battles with the 49ers. I think the positions are pretty much set. I'm just looking forward to week one against the Jets because I think that it's one of my predictions for the season. I think we're going to see a decline in Aaron Rodgers this year. Being 40, coming back from that injury.
You saw it already. The boy lasted 4 plays.
So
he my age.
So I think I know Brian didn't like the pick of what's his name, Penix, going to Atlanta, but I really think that he's going to play this year. I think he's going to play this year. I don't think
only by
Kirk
injury.
Cousins. Right,
It's
and
not
that's what I think. Right, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think it'll be injury.
You can't.
I agree.
Yeah, there's no way to predict injuries like that,
Right,
because
that's
everyone.
right.
McCaffrey last year, the reason why most people didn't draft him number one in like fantasy stuff, because everyone was predicting the injury. Well, he actually didn't get injured.
Yep.
And this year, that's always going to be a big factor for them. But yeah, I think it was a horrible pick. But that's because I can't predict. Whether or not
injuries,
Kirk Cousins gets hurt.
By
the way, the second week is your most difficult game for the season because you're at Minnesota.
Right.
And they lost to Minnesota last year.
We lost Minnesota last year. Exactly. We lost last.
Kirk Cousins, who we talking about, was cooking y'all boys.
There are no gimme games on the road. I mean, there are no gimme games. I don't care who
you guys have. You have us on the road, and then you have the Rams on the road as weeks 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Real quick before I forget this, and I'm gonna say it, and someone can steal it, whatever. But copyright. The Niners right now, bro. I just thought of this. You guys are a trinasty. You trying to get there, you ain't quite there.
Right.
It's like a dynasty. You almost, bro. Y'all 3 times a lady, but not quite.
You got to check and make sure the Buffalo Bills didn't.
I thought of them first. Shout out to the Bills,
back.
100%. I was just thinking that, but most recently, absolutely.
We're becoming.
The lingo wasn't as strong back then.
We're becoming the second coming.
Bro, y'all are right
Buffalo
there,
Bills,
bro. Y'all couldn't go straight, but y'all be right there.
Man,
can't beat them Chiefs now, can you, bro?
Nah,
what's going on?
Yeah, we can't beat the Chiefs. That's what's going on.
I'm gonna say everybody done beat the Chiefs at least once.
Well, I think the Chiefs are eminently beatable this year.
Yeah,
we said that last year.
No, me and Brian are both on record. They're not winning. So I will pay somebody. I'll pay you $100, Glenn, if they win the Super Bowl this year. I'll give you $100. I don't see it.
I'll take it. All right.
The House of Cards it's getting windy next to the House of Cards. It is the Chiefs.
Bars. Yeah. That was nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Word. All right. So we're gonna be talking football anyways going on. Give me some college football hypes. What's up with these top 25s, man? They just came out. Y'all said it's way too early to be looking at college rankings.
Yeah, I mean,
this is for the gamblers.
Yeah, it's based on last year's record. I mean, coordinators are gone, coaches are gone, certain players are gone. Like Michigan, nowhere in the world should be ranked number 9. They lost a lot of people this last year. They were a lot of seniors on that team. They were a very good team on both sides of the ball. Yeah. They lost a lot of seniors.
And the coach.
They lost the most important thing,
and the quarterback.
And the coach and the quarterback, and now they're ranked number 9, and they're not going to have that good of a season to be ranked that high. I don't know what the backup coach, the brother, I forgot his name. He's coaching the team, but he's coaching a team that's severely more deficient than they were last year. So Michigan is definitely overranked. Another overranked team that I see is Iowa. They don't score points. So they shouldn't really be in the top 25. Their over-unders for games are in the 30s because they're strictly defensive oriented. They don't score any points. So for them to be ranked, they have a decent record last year, don't get me wrong, but to keep relying on their defense and never score points, I don't think they should be ranked. And of course, lastly, I saw the Miami Hurricanes ranked number 19. A lot of hype on Miami. That's my team the last couple of years. But when you go 7-6 and 6-7, I'm just kind of, for me, I'll believe it when I see it. Does the team have talent? Yes. Does the team is talented enough to be in the college football playoff, be one of the 12 teams? Yes. Will they do it? I don't know. It hasn't been done they haven't made a football playoff in college in a while. So I don't think ever they made the playoffs. So, we'll see what happens. They do have talent, but somehow they just can't really put it together throughout the season. B, what you think about some of the teams in the top 25?
Well, I mean, like I said earlier before we hopped on, is that this whole thing is a gimmick, right? So this is because they need to put teams out there to get betting favorites and lines and stuff established. It is established. It is based a little bit on what they did last year. It's also based on who they signed in the who the freshmen are. Are they going to play? Who's back? All those. There's all types of little factors, but so much of it is about putting people in a position so that they don't look like idiots if they go down or go up, right? It's very likely, because the SEC sucks, that Georgia will do just fine. And and because Georgia will do just fine, they're a very safe pick to put in the top because if they fall one time over the course of the season, when they don't have to play the barber colleges of Atlanta and Florida, they'll go down to 4 or 5 and still make the playoffs. And then you have SC, where I think it's a complete wild card. They just appointed Miller, the quarterback, who was very good in the bowl game last year. They have talent, but they didn't know what to do with them. They're like, we don't want to not rank them, even though we're not sure that we believe in them. So we're going to throw them in there in the bottom. They start losing, we can knock them off. They start winning, we can always say, oh, we had some idea that they might be good. The way coaches and the AP polls do these things at the beginning of the season, it's always for the black is better. It's always the blue bloods. It's always the same teams year after year after year because they don't want to take any risks or go out on a limb any which way.
Yeah. One team I did see properly ranked though was Ole Miss. They're gonna be good this year. They're number
like
6.
a top 5, right? What tripped me out, bro, and this is when rest in peace, my dad. I think about it. I'd love to talk to him about this. I see USC Big 10 under it. That's a trip to me.
Disgusting,
right?
Bro, it looks so
disgusting.
weird.
Well,
I love it.
And then you see Oregon, who's ranked 3rd, and you're like, oh wow, Oregon and SC. Oh, no, they have nothing to do with each other anymore.
Right.
Big.
Right.
They're both in the Big 10, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Love
that's
it.
crazy, bro.
Love it.
Yep.
They're in the conference with Iowa. Like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Well, they're in a conference with Ohio State, who's ranked number 2, right? So that's
And Penn State.
Do they play Ohio State
Michigan.
this year, Brian? I didn't look at the schedule. Their schedule. They play them. I know they play Michigan.
They do not. So
Okay,
they still play US. Oh no, they do play Ohio State on
Really?
12. Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be a. Oh yeah,
That's
I love to see
crazy,
that
bro.
one.
It does
That's-
work. Like as crazy as
play
it is
Michigan,
for them
yeah.
to move, those matchups are crazy
Man,
still.
those are some big
On a
games,
weekly,
man.
that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think this might give SC a better chance because you start beating these teams, especially traveling.
Oh, you're in. You're in.
Yeah.
The problem that the Pac-12 had before was that even when they were really good together, and they would beat up on each other. And those 2 losses in a Pac-12 West Coast bias, there's no way
They don't have that
SC
now.
is good enough to run the Big 12. That's the point. And so the minute they get 2 losses, they're gone. The minute UCLA gets 2 losses, they're gone.
They can get 2 losses now in the Big 10 and still make it. The playoffs.
I don't think
teams.
so. Nope.
Depends on who they lose to, right?
It's
And
12
how deep?
teams. Somebody with 2 losses getting in.
Lose to Michigan and Oregon, Michigan and Ohio State.
You can't do that.
Even be ranked. They will not even be ranked.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And those are games that you can expect to reasonably lose because those are 2 of the top 10 teams. And if they lose to those 2 games, they will not be ranked. That's my
Caleb. Yeah, I'm starting over. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a prediction. I say at least 2 teams with 2 losses make the college football playoff this year. 2 teams.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be
yeah.
your
But
team.
it's gonna be an SEC team.
Oh,
and it's gonna be
It'll
like a
definitely be
Big
SEC
East team where they don't really know what to do with them or something like that. Like it's the curse of the Big 10 is that they're gonna inherit from the Pac-12 this we're gonna beat up on each other. Everyone's gonna look with 2-3 losses. And the ones that are going to get it are going to be the Ohio States and Michigans. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt. And the SCs and Oregons that are just getting moved in, they're going to get the same thing for at least the first few years. They're going to still be associated with the Pac-12 and not as tough, not as strong as the Big 10, at least for a little while, in my opinion.
I can see that.
Yeah. Have you checked the over/under for wins? For SC, I haven't checked.
I don't, but I think it was like 6 or something like that.
Ooh, that's low.
So yeah, but
7.5.
But look at this. So USC plays LSU, which is in Las Vegas. They sold 60,000 tickets to that game.
Yeah,
there's a pretty good chance they will lose to that.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, they play number 9 Michigan at Michigan. There's a pretty good chance they're going to lose that game. Then a couple.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Then a couple weeks later, they play an 8th-ranked Penn State. That's here, so it's a little bit of a chance. And then to finish their season, they're playing a 7th-ranked Notre Dame. So they could theoretically lose 3 of those 4 games against top-ranked teams and not be ranked.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because of the way the lineups, the thing works out.
Yeah, it's 7.5 wins.
Top teams, yeah, you got to be.
That's crazy. USC at 7.5. That is crazy. I've never seen their win total that low. That's crazy. Okay.
Well,
All right.
4 ranked teams this year.
And they got to travel.
Yeah.
That's it. That's crazy. It sets up some new matchups that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah, I love it.
Like 4, that's crazy. I ain't seen SC against some teams. Notre Dame once, I remember, and then I don't remember. Did they play Michigan when I was? Not that I can remember. That's crazy. So
Yeah,
man.
they got Miami at 9.5 wins. It means they have to win 10 games. I don't remember the last time they won 10 games. Probably like 5-6 years ago. That's crazy too. But anyway, okay. All right.
Well, snap, bro. We was talking about kind of just quick hitters for today, and then we're gonna start getting into more regular cadence because we got football coming back. So in that vein, last couple segments, starting off with hella hogwash. B one time on the show was saying how something was hogwash. We laughed. It's been a staple since. So do y'all have anything right now that's hella hogwash in the world of sports or otherwise?
Yeah, I got one. I'm gonna start with the Dallas Cowboys. This team ain't making
Fair.
the playoffs. It's a bunch of hogwash
Fair.
that people keep putting them up. You know, Dak Prescott and whatever. All of he's 8-18 as a starter when he has no running game. When they run a rush for under a certain amount of yards, whatever in the game. He's really not good with a running game. He doesn't have one with the Cowboys. Tony Pollard is gone. Ezekiel Elliott's been gone. He has to carry the team, and he's shown in the past that never worked out for them. Cowboys ain't making the playoffs, but everybody's propping them up to be Super Bowl contenders and contenders to win a division that the Eagles are going to win and blah, 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 blah. The Cowboys are hogwash. I understand they got the number 1 fan base in the NFL. You ain't making the playoffs. I said it. I know you're mad. Whatever. Give me all the backlash. I'll take all the smoke. They're hogwash, the Dallas Cowboys. Beat.
Mine is for your wide receiver.
Oh,
I'm so tired of
what did Debo do?
Of Brandon Ayuk. I feel at this point intentionally monopolizing all the conversation. He has been given every opportunity to go.
Yeah.
The coaches, everybody's just like, just tell us what you want to freaking do.
Right.
Jerry Rice is getting involved.
Funny. Yeah.
Going,
What do you want, man?
We're gonna find out. Not a peep. Nothing happened. It was much ado about nothing. I just think that at a certain point in time, you're a grown man. You should be able to figure out what it is you want, which is I'm going to stay here this year and play out the next year of my contract and then figure out what I'm going to do next. I'm going to sign this deal that I think is less than ideal and shorten it, or I'm going to go and play in Pittsburgh. Whatever it is, it's just too darn much, and he needs to. It's hogwash, but he's still monopolizing this much energy and time.
Yeah. So Brian, that's a good one because I was tired of it too. There was a deal in place for him to go to New England, and he said no, according to several reports. Yeah. Pittsburgh, I don't know why the hell you want to go to Pittsburgh. I mean, Mike Tomlin's not going to scheme you open, but anyway, it looks like he doesn't want to go to Pittsburgh now. I think all along he wants to stay in San Francisco.
Anywhere, but
he wants to milk the money. Exactly. That's what I've always.
He wants to complain to the point where they acquiesce and say, "Sure, we're going to pay you now." Right.
I agree. That's a good one.
At a certain point in time, just play. Look, nobody defends the free agent more than me. So for me to say this,
very true.
I'm always like, but it's just that the how. It's the whininess of it.
Yeah.
Just don't show up. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Come back when you're ready. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
It's funny. B said, "Do what you want. Just don't tell me about
it." I think I blocked him out of my mind. That's why I didn't bring it up. But that's a good one. I'm glad you did. Yep. Glenn, you don't got one?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. And then last segment, minute to win it, man. I'm just happy to be here back with you guys. Good to have the show back. We'll keep it rolling.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this weekly with you guys once again. So I'm just ready for it.
Yep.
On the minute to win it, I read a story this week that's been around for a significantly long time, but Pac-Man Jones, I just learned, took on an extra family.
Yeah.
Because one of his teammates,
Chris Henry, right?
Chris Henry passed away.
Mm.
He took on raising their kids and going to their practices and like real high level father stuff. Pac-Man Jones got all of the hate in the media because of how he played and all the issues. And so when I saw that story, I just thought that's pretty darn cool. So I just wanted to take a moment. If people aren't aware of what it is, look up Pac-Man Jones. He took on the entire family. He supports the mother and buys them a house and makes sure that they're fully taken care of. And it's not like Pac-Man Jones was Deion Sanders kind of money or that kind of stuff. He was very, very good, but he was never making the big paydays because of his personality and how
Yeah.
it worked
Yep.
in the and everything. But anyways, good on him. And then the only thing I would say that's not related to this is I don't know if people got an opportunity to look or watch the speeches that Michelle Obama and Barack Obama gave last night back to back. But oh my gosh, were they outstanding. It was so nice to see eloquence, grace,
That's what I heard.
again on the stage, back to back. Those two brought the house down. People were talking about that as two of the greatest back-to-back speeches, period, related to politics.
Mm.
So check those
Fire.
out.
Oh,
Fire.
tight.
Yep. Hey, that's how you end it. Sports
Talk.
Counterpoints, August 21st, 2024. We will catch y'all next time. Peace.